Hello, welcome to this YouTube channel. As I said last time, this YouTube channels talk about the history of man, the evolution of man, and different ideologies and different things about the community of man and what happens to people and men and people and man. I'll also be telling stories of people just short stories of people, the great, maybe just stories, people like Alexander the Great, the Nelson Mandela, people like just be telling also history of people, and I'll be talking about also I wakening up things. So this is the channel you should consider subscribing to, and also put that notification bell. Just any video that comes up, they will notify you. And I hope that you may gain from this channel, and also that it also may help you, and also helping you, it will be helping me also in many different ways. It will be also helping me. So this is maybe the third video I've done. I've done this video, just I've set my camera. I've talked for more than 30 minutes thinking the video is on, without my own, just without knowing, just checking on it, the camera was never on, man. I've done three videos, two videos, nothing was recording, and me just doing my thing. I was thinking it is being recorded. I prefer not seeing what I'm recording, because when you see what is recording, you'll be focused on what is being on how you look or being recorded. But when you're not knowing how you look being recorded, you can just speak, and also you'll have full attention on what you're speaking, not on how you look being recorded, because you cannot serve two masters at the same time. It's either you talk, or you see what you're looking when you're being recorded. So this today I just wanted to talk about some few things there and here about the world, and about the last video which I shared with you guys about the movie Matrix, and I shared the deeper meaning of that movie and what it talks about, and what people in the world haven't known since the movie was released in 1999. And even today, the true meaning of the movie, people don't know the true meaning of the movie. It's just guess. But I know the true meaning of the movie according to my research, and according to what I've pieced up together. And I've given the explanation in the last video I had shot. It's just there. Just check on it, and you'll see what the real meaning of what is the Matrix. So I was saying that this movie called The Matrix, there have never been a movie or movies released which have the similar plot like The Matrix. Matrix is the only movie that has ever been released that which talks about The Matrix alone. The Matrix is the only movie which looks like itself. There is no other movie which has ever been released that resembles The Matrix. And why is this so? Because the people who released The Matrix were cautioned by the world and the system which controls people that what they did and released The Matrix caused a lot of harm to their system, because people were aware of what the system is. People are aware what is the system. People are aware of many things because of that movie. That movie that did a lot of chaos, but it is not being talked about, because that movie opened people's eyes a lot to the world. And that's why you see there's no movie like that. You can find a movie like Fast and Furious. You can find a movie for doing evil things like sexual intercourse movies, like just like that. You can find them on the internet, and even they can be produced 20 times without even being asked. But a movie with knowledge and information is very dangerous, and that can't be allowed to be released. Such a similar movie like The Matrix. The Matrix was the only type of movie which has its own sequence, the way it is done. I often give an example of The Matrix by the story of Jesus Christ. The movie Matrix is like Jesus Christ, because before Jesus Christ came to the world was formless. The world was in darkness. The world was nothing. People didn't know anything about this world or where they're going after this world. People didn't know anything. But when Jesus came to the world, Jesus brought the light. That's why it is written, Jesus is the light of the world. And you can check that in your Bible. In the Bible, it is written that Jesus is the light of the world. There's no other light except Jesus, because Jesus brought light into the world. People were living in darkness. People didn't know who was God. People didn't know God was their Father. People were just hearing God, but they don't know who is God and what will happen to them if they die. But Jesus brought all this knowledge to human beings and brought this light that we share today, and also live proudly, knowing that when we die and having done some particular things, we will go somewhere where our deeds will be judged. And we already know, as long as you know you've been living a good life, no matter what happens, you know you did what is good. And that is what Jesus brought into this world. He brought the knowledge and information about how to live as one, and what is the best way of human beings to live and associate with people, with each other, and the best way that we human beings can live long in this land, because 1 + 1, what is it? It is 2. 1 + 1 is always 2. This world is it is like a system. This world has a set of rules. There's no day that 1 + 1 will be 3. It will always be 2. That's why when you do good, you'll also receive good. When you do bad, you'll receive bad. There's no way you can do bad and receive good. There's no way you can do bad things and be good, because the law of this world is one. The law of this world is, if you do good, good will be done to you. What you reap is what you sow. This is what the knowledge that Jesus brought into the world. He brought the light into the world. He made us aware of things that are happening into the world and how to live the world. That's why we can sit here today with religion protecting somebody, because when somebody wants to do something bad to you, you know that this is a method that we can probably cling to and say, if I'm beaten this side, I give this side. You know, this is something that will benefit you. It has already been tested, and it was told by somebody who was there before. So Jesus is like the Matrix. Jesus is. Do you remember when God said the world was with no form? It was completely darkness, and He said, "Let there be light," and light was there. The light was made greater than the darkness, which will be longer than the darkness and rule over the darkness. That is what God did. God brought Jesus into the world so He can be greater than the darkness and rule over it. The Matrix is like that in that type, because it brought awareness to people. When the Matrix was built, was released, people knew what is happening to them, because people were living unaware. The small people who were trying to inform people were very little, and some of these people were killed, people were done to this, but people united and removed a movie like The Matrix, which brought awareness. Until today, when I tell you something about The Matrix, you can relate and say, The Matrix is this and this and this. I don't have to explain to you, because in the past, you couldn't say anything or do anything because you don't know what it is. But at least now we have one monetary figure like money, which we can transact with and say, it has value, which is the matrix. We can transact with the ideas of the matrix and know what the system is and what this how the system operates. And another thing which I know and people which people say is that which people say is that which people say, just a minute, let me check if it's recording. I don't want to make that same mistake. Yeah, it's okay, it's recording. So this time at least I'm sure it's recording. I won't make that mistake because I've done more than 2 videos and it was hectic. So one thing that we will be sure of is that we'll be sure this is the matrix and this is what happens to the matrix, because the matrix has brought a lot of awareness to people and has made people be aware what is happening to them and who are the people who are controlling them. Even though we don't know which people control us, at least we have an idea. People control our society. We have an idea. We are living in a society which is controlled, and we are living in a society which is blind. That's why Morpheus tells Neo, you need to wake up and realize what you should be aware of yourself. You should be self-conscious. You should be aware of what things are happening. So this movie Matrix brought a lot of awareness, and that there's one thing that people say. People say that you can fight an enemy that you know, but you can never fight an enemy that you don't know. Before the movie Matrix was released, people didn't know completely about what the Matrix was. We didn't know what the enemy of man was. We didn't know what are the things that are holding man back. But as long as the Matrix was released, at least we are aware of the enemy and what things are happening to the world and people. So when the movie Matrix was released, we knew how the system operates. And what people don't know, and what some of these people who think they are on the prominent side, like the presidents and the high figures and all sorts of manner, even the small people of the Matrix, what they don't know that the Matrix uses them. Just let me give an example how it does that. If you look at any system, any form of system, we are used to turn around against each other. Like, let's say the dictators, terrorists in the world are being used by some of these countries. But when your value is down, the country turns against you and kills you. Like, if you look an instance of Uganda, there was a dictator called Idi Amin. Idi Amin used to transact well with the USA. He had no problem. But when they had finished their agenda, what they wanted, they turned against Idi Amin, and his story was redirected and was told in a different way, which people know now today of Idi Amin, because people know, but what people don't know, that these leaders work together with some of these people. These leaders work with people in high prominent areas. These leaders were used as instruments of the system. But when the system is finished with you, people can be happy that they are doing some things. But when the system is finished with you, it will turn against you and it will do things against you. It doesn't care how you helped them, they will turn against you. It doesn't care. But when you are in power, you are enjoying it, you are oppressing people, you are doing some things to people not knowing, is a time that when the system won't be need with you. The system is like, it tells you, you are greedy, even you'll be greedy, but one day, no, the greediness will turn against you, it will consume you. But that's what people don't know. This system it's not something you can trust. How can you trust a disloyal person to be loyal to you? You can never trust. How can you trust a bad person to be loyal to you? You can never trust a bad person to be loyal to you. So this system, as people, we are just instruments of the system, until you may get an instance where a policeman is being sent to kill another policeman. But why should the policeman who is being sent ask himself, why am I going to kill a policeman just like me? Why is this happening? But because he is not awake and knowing what is happening, he will kill the fellow policeman, not knowing maybe tomorrow he's going to be in the shoes of this policeman is killing. Because when the system is done with you, you know it's secret. You have to go. And when you're all this time you oppressed people, you were doing certain things that were not favoring people, and you had the chance to do what is right, but you helped the system to do what is wrong. Now this is what we call in a certain way you're helping the devil. That's why we have good people and bad people. You help the devil unknowingly. That's why you have to wake up. Neo was told he had to wake up to know what he chooses and what he doesn't choose. Not doing things out of unknowingly without his fate him being the master of his fate. We should be the master of his fate, because we should do everything by our choice and not being affected by the external factors around us. So these people think by doing certain things they're benefiting from the system, but the system doesn't benefit from anybody. Be it you are an instrument of the system or you're not an instrument of the system, you'll eventually suffer. You will eventually suffer. There is no way that you will be favored, because you'll just cry, oh, I thought I did this for you. I thought I did this for you. But the system doesn't care. Once your work is done, your story is finished. Until even the leaders who are there should also wake up. They should know, I have many properties, but at the end of the day, they'll be useless. At the end of the day, as long as at the end of the day, and even what is worse, them who think they are in high places are the ones who are going to suffer even more than these people who are they are oppressing them, because they live a short life of happiness, but at the end of the day the system will turn against them, because the system leaves no evidence. The system leaves no evidence. It should clear every evidence. So when you look at a place like some things like this system is very large. It is a large quantity which needs each other. When you look at the church, the judicial system, the school system, all of these, they have heads. This, like the church, the head of a church is a particular person, the head of judicial system. So this system what it has done, it has divided people, and dividing people, it's when it works easier. Let no one fool you that, oh, me, I'm not bad. Me, this institution is not bad. As long as the world is bad, any institution in the world is bad. Let no one tells you, oh, me, I don't take any institution like you, be it a church institution or a judicial institution which should protect your rights. Let it not lie to you that it's not bad, because what happens around the world is what affects them. Because if the world is bad, then them are the factors which are causing the world to be bad, because the system can't leave a leakage, can't leave a link or a weakness around its system. The system should be, it holds every part of it very closely and very tightly, because if one breaks, all of them are doomed to fail. Because if you look for an example, like when you go to politics determines a lot about religion, because somebody has to say, I'm this type of religion, so that you can be voted for. But if you're not a type of religion or a type of a church or something, you won't be able to be voted for. People will deny you. People will not vote for you. So this system depends on each other. And when you're elected, you have to feed this system, like the church. You have to give them priorities so that they can also continue helping you, so that you can be big. You give them money, and if you give somebody money which is corrupted, they become also corrupted. So this system has been corrupted for so many years. There's which the system, even all the countries in the world, let no president lie to you that he is a good president, because in one way or another, all these people need each other, or in one way or another, these people use the same methods to deal with their people, because in one way or another, electricals or certain stuff of things comes from one type of country. In one way or another, this all countries are influenced by the system. All the countries are operate in a particular way, unless people need to wake up and start doing things differently. These laws were made by people who even died hundreds of years before us, people who died 100 years ago. We still use their laws, we still do what they do, we still wear what they wear, without even deciding what for a change, what we want. Like when you look when you look just like when you look at us, when we die, what will have we changed in this world? There is nothing that you will have changed in this world. There is no law that you will have put to change this world. You will have been governed by laws of people who even are not here today. We will be governed by laws of people who we don't know them. We don't know what they did. We don't know who are they. We don't know how. It's one example, for instance, because rain rained here today. It doesn't Because rain rained here today, it doesn't mean that the rain will rain here again today. Let me just check if the camera is still rolling. Yeah, that's good. It's still rolling, so it won't be a mistake like the before mistake. So I was saying, if rain is here still today, if rain rained here still today, it doesn't mean that you should make a shelter here because the rain will rain here tomorrow. Maybe it will change its direction, because today it rains in some places, tomorrow it goes into some places. But what we do, we think tomorrow the same law will also apply as it was yesterday. Our laws should be changing. It should be flexible, because something which is not flexible, it's not a thing. That's why the river flows. It goes with the current. It goes with the direction, because if you don't flow, you crash. You'll crash. If you don't flow, you crash. So we should review some of these laws and make them according to our situation right now, because we can't be using the same tool for digging when we can create tractors. If we create tractors today which are better than the tools that were made in 1900s, these are like laws which are made like 1900s are old and rusty. We should make new laws which are working faster, like the tractors, which can govern us better today. But us, we are dormant, we are flexible, we don't want to change. But what makes me shock about people and this system of ours is that we can, as human beings, we can see somebody being slaughtered, and yet we look at him not caring. And also we are in the same problem, and God has given us this opportunity. And look at this person, his situation right now. Not because we should look at it in a different way, or we should wake up and see this person in this situation. It could be us the next day, tomorrow. Like now, people are saying that the fuel prices are high, things are high, but who is ready to talk and say enough is enough? No one is ready to talk. No, who is ready to lose a job? only one person loses the job, then everybody keeps quiet. No one wants to join that person and say this and this and this. We make him as a laughing stock. But this is a person like a prophet, a person who God has shown us an example so we can follow him. God has given us a lot of people who we can follow and at least help ourselves, but we never help ourselves. It's like a story that it was said that a person was in the sea, stuck in a boat. Then a person said, hey, let's go, I help you. The person said, no, I'm waiting for God to help me. The second person came, come, I help you. He said, no, I'm waiting for God to help me. Then that person said, come, I help you. He said, no, I'm waiting for God to help me. That person eventually died. When he went to heaven, God told him, he asked God, why didn't you come to save me? And he said, didn't I send you people to save you? But you said, I'm waiting for God to help me. These people, you see people losing jobs, people are suffering, but you don't want to wake up and be united and say, let us come together and solve this issue. But because there's no unity, you see one person raises up the issue, but no one is willing to help him speak it up. At the end of the day, you say, oh, I am, this is happening to me, this is happening to me. But you had the chance to help this person raise up the issue. This is how the system controls us, and the system is so easy to control us because we are like sheep. We move in the direction which people say. We don't make our own choices. We move in things which are set there for us. For example, in this situation, like Elon Musk. When Elon Musk built a spaceship, everybody marveled and looked at Elon Musk and said, oh, Elon Musk has built a spaceship. He has done this and this and this. Everybody changed his ways and started looking at space because this person did it. But we should also look for other things like ships. Because why? Because if Elon Musk did it, let's do it in another sector. But everybody changed direction and started talking about things without even questioning what they are talking about, even questioning of new things. Now the matrix is easy to manipulate people. What it needs to do is just set a law and people will just follow it blindly without even asking about anything concerning the law. The people will just follow it without even doing anything. That's what makes the system so easy to change people and also corrupt people. That's how the system has managed so far to hide to evade us, and without us knowing what the system is doing to us, because we do things unconsciously. We follow things. The system, for these leaders, it's so easy to control the public because at the end of the day, public will always do what they are told. They will never ask. Only 1% of people will question. That's what you saw in the movie called the movie Matrix. Only 1% questions the Matrix. Only 1%. But the rest 99% does things out of their will without doing anything or wanting to change anything. So that's what the movie Matrix was really talking about, and that's why people are suffering in the world right now. Economic change, a lot of factors. Like when you saw in the past few years, the corona brought a lot of things in this world because the system knew we are strong. There's no mighty government like us. But what happened? Something like the corona made the system think twice, made the system weak. They thought they are the strongest, but corona made the system weak. Things didn't work as they planned them to work. They thought they are high. You saw countries which were big, nothing was going for them. The people are in lockdown. They had no solution for certain things. And such a small thing like corona, which now we are living freely. Imagine in the 3 years you couldn't even walk out. Something small the system didn't anticipate for it. It took them by a shock. They didn't know. They didn't know. They thought they're high, but you see that thing for corona, what has brought about. If people were living with justice, with with freedom, if people were living not being oppressed, corona wouldn't been an issue for us because the government could have been united. It could have been easy to solve corona because you ask this government this and this, there could be have been transparency. But because of that opaqueness of things, we couldn't be able to access medicines, or we couldn't be able to help each other because medicines were hard to manufacture because people wanted to manufacture for themselves and benefit for themselves, but they didn't want the benefit of the entire, because if you manufacture a medicine you get money. The rush was not to manufacture medicine, it was to be the first one to manufacture the medicine so you could create money to have the best medicine. But if this all these companies could have sat together and resulted for nice better things, the system could have been strong. So the system itself its own enemy. The system itself its own enemy. Another thing I hear people saying is that deals, you make a deal with the devil. Let me the people who say they make deals with the devil, they're deluded, and that's not true. You can never make a deal with the devil because the devil is a person who has a lot of pride. The devil, we've been told in the Bible that the devil wanted to sit above God, wanted to be above God. The devil, how can somebody with a lot of pride, what do you have to offer him? You can never make a deal with him. He will use you at the end of the day, dispose you. That's what human minds think they're making a deal with the devil. But it's not a deal, it's a profit to the devil. He's just lying to you. There's nothing like a deal. A person who wants to sit above God, you think he can sit in the same seat with you and you make a deal with him? He can't. He maybe leave you your agents. That this person, he has pride that he can never do such a thing because his pride can't allow him, because he wants to sit above every creation on the world. And if you imagine the power which God has, it's a lot of power because God is the giver of everything. That's why when you ask God of something, he gives you for free, but the devil gives you with a price. And you being a giver of everything, you created everything, you give it for free because you have given more, you have done many things which are greater than this. You have done many things which are greater than this. You have done many things greater than what a single person is asking for. You have done greater things, more than anybody can ever imagine. So when you're asking God for a favor, it is a small favor. That's why God gives you for free, and he gives you because out of love, because you are his own creation and he wouldn't want you to be destroyed. But all this has been corrupted by the devil, but the devil has corrupted, but eventually he won't manage, he won't win, because all this time we will have been in trouble if he had won. But if he has been fighting, but if he has been fighting and nothing has happened, means God is up over him. He is above him. Is above him. So this world, we shouldn't living in such type of ways. We should remake and look on how we're living and at least find a better way on how we do things. Because some of these leaders we have, they do these things out of their own foolishness. Some do them out of awareness, out of not being aware, and out of sometimes innocence. Because they don't know the repercussions. They don't know, they are not aware. But people who are aware of the things they do cannot go and become leaders, because the system will will suppress them. The system likes people who are not aware, people who follow them. That's why you see leaders will behave in such a type of way, because if you are aware what they do, the system kills you or does certain things to you. So as I finish up, and we'll talk more about in the next episode, what I am finishing up today is I just want to say some simple things. The things I'll say ending is that, look at this instance. For example, what does the internet know about me? Very few things does the internet know about me. It knows about my life. It doesn't know anything about me. And what does the internet know about you? What does it know? Does the internet know when you're born? Does the internet know when you ate yesterday? Does the internet know which hospital you're born? Does the internet know which nurse gave birth to you? It doesn't know. It doesn't know anything. So the internet is not the largest, it is not the best source of information. So when we're doing some research also, we should rely on internet, and also we should rely on each other. We have more information than the internet itself it has. So we should not make the internet so human that we rely on it so much, because some of the things you cannot find them on the internet. But when you go and search for a history of a particular country, the internet will tell you. If the internet doesn't know when you ate, what you ate yesterday, what can the internet know about the history of a country? What can the internet know about the history of a community? What can the internet know? It is, what is there is very minimal information. If you look at it, very minimal information. So just try to go and search with other people and see what they have, what knowledge they have to share with you. And also that's why you'll gain more, because you'll find more information out there. And also you do some research for yourself, so that you can also give people information. It's a share information. Let's benefit from doing good things with each other. So let's meet in the next episode as we talk more about life, and I'll tell you a good story of great people in the world. Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali. What I think is fun, I'll be telling you, like Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, who else? Nelson Mandela. I'll be telling you about Zef Kennedy. I'll be telling you about Alexander the Great, Genghis Khan. These people who are prominent. I'll be also telling you stories which I know, and we'll also be sharing ideas. Also, please subscribe to this channel for more information, and please turn on the notification bell so you can receive notifications of anything that I release on this channel. And I say thank you for giving me your time and also hearing what I have to say.